Oh no, she's got the mark.
This chicken, why do we care?
Any main are missed. I don't know. I don't know where this is going, but let's see. That doesn't sound like he's chopping wood. That sounds like he's tapping a table, right? There's my horsey. I wanna save her. Queen. The storyline
I swear,
sucks.
honestly, if the other episodes were even interesting, I promise. Like, I swear this episode is so boring.
Is it me, or do all these episodes and the story itself is dragging? Like they're not moving it along at all.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
oh, this happens
no.
over here, and
What
this is
happened?
happening over there.
I mean, the only kind of important thing that happened this episode is during son apologizing to during father thing.
Right.
That's
Right.
the only
Right.
important thing that happened, and the convincing of Celebrimbor,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
which is lame.
What the fuck is Elendil wearing? Look at him. He looks like a bum. You see that? What is that?
Oh god.
Are those
Yeah, no, that's a little ugly.
are those baggy pants with like bootstraps, and then his armor is? It looks. Is it me, or does it look awful?
No, it looks like, yeah, it doesn't look. I think in contrast to what she's wearing next to him, it looks really bad.
It looks terrible. Look at that. What the fuck is he wearing? Can't stand his hair either. See? You see that chest plate? The way he has it. That chest.
Yeah, it's that now.
That chest plate is almost. I mean, obviously not the design, but the general idea of it is the same as the high priests of Israel, of like back in the day.
Yeah.
Supposedly of like 2,000 years
wow.
ago. Yep. Remember, he wanted her to wear the red, and she said no. She's wearing white. He's like, well, fuck you. I'll wear the red.
Yeah.
Is it me, or did they shape his eyebrows to like stick up like he's scowling all the time?
No, they definitely did.
Okay.
I mean, some people's got that naturally, but I don't think this is the case. I think they cut off his ends and redrew them.
How come all the men of Numenor have mid-range hair, like Jesus or whatever, but the elves have different hairstyles? You know what I mean? Like, why isn't there conformity in that? All these guys have
Why?
all these guys have hair down to their shoulders, all of them almost, just about. I mean, there's a few, but for the most part, all the main guys have Isildur, Elendil, Pharazôn. They all have, and I don't know who the hell this old guy is. They all have shoulder length long hair, like as if that's that's the style, but not the elves. Makes no sense.
Yeah, why having that hairstyle? We're better and cooler.
Is your queen!
Silence!
What the fuck is going on? You just heard him say that we wouldn't use an elvish artifact as if like they don't get along with the elves. We just read that they were really close friends with the elves. That Gil-galad was good friends with the Númenóreans. They had no issues with each other. We just read that.
So what even is this for?
Also, the Palantir were given out to Elendil after these people fucking drowned. So there shouldn't be a Palantir, let alone just one. Where are the other 6?
Right.
Yeah,
What?
it's crazy. And they're using
I swear the problem with this is literally the scription, the screenwriting is such a problem in
Well,
this.
they're having to
That's
they're
literally
having
the problem.
they're having to create things that don't exist to create drama because they don't want to follow the actual drama. They're using this now. Basically, the reason they're using the Palantir thing here in creating, saying that oh, it's an Elvish thing. We don't, because the whole idea is that he's saying, oh, a real king wouldn't use that thing, and she did. So he's gonna use that to get her dethroned. That's the only reason that. That's the only reason yeah. That's the only reason that's a thing right now. Also, separate point, I do like her outfit. That looks like lapis lazuli around her shoulders and neck, right?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I will give
She looks so cool.
I will give them
I
that.
love her outfit
I
too.
do like her little circlet as well.
We need it.
I just wanted to point out that all this drama was started by that bitch. Right?
That bitch trademark.
I don't know what she's doing. Like, why did she even do that?
It makes no sense, really.
Is she in league with him? Like, yeah, I guess so. I guess they're putting that she's in league with him. She doesn't exist, or if she does, I don't remember who the hell she is. But there was no mention of, again, patriarchy. You know what I mean? You saw Tolkien had mostly male characters. I don't know who the heck she is. I don't know where she.
Yeah, right.
We didn't hear about her.
In this show, she's the daughter of Elendil.
But that's not a thing. Unless she's replacing an Arion, oh, that would be fucked up. If she's replacing an Arion, because he's not on here, so I'm assuming it's her, then that's pretty fucked up, because that's quite a change. That's quite a change.
What's the eagle there for?
Remember that Pharazôn told her?
Actually, that's a falcon though. That's not even an eagle.
Oh no.
It looks more like a sparrow
Pharazôn told her.
with the beak of an eagle.
Pharazôn told her that if the eagle showed up at her coronation, it would be seen as a sign that she's the true king. That's what the fuck. That's what's going on with that.
Yeah, true.
Which, like, there is an affinity with eagles, and there is a really tall mountain on this island. And I remember reading about it 2 years ago now when I was reading the stuff when we watched the first one. And they do have a ritual, which they haven't shown here, where they go to the top of the mountain. I forget the details of it. I would have to read it again. But as far as I can tell, I don't think he said there were any giant eagles. There are giant eagles in Middle-earth, but I don't remember him saying there are giant eagles in Numenor. I'm not. There are eagles, but giant eagles? I don't know. It'd be funny if it plucked him and threw him off the cliff.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Actually.
What is going on? Like this. That's not even how it happened. There was no fucking eagle. Like, there was no eagle thing. He basically did the classic, I'm gonna marry my cousin to you know what I mean? To get into the
Yeah.
That's it. He like literally just married her. There was none of this dumb shit. Lame. Here we go. Rings. Ring time.
Yeah, this thing's cool though.
Kinda...
You know what? This is cool because none of them are talking yet.
Yes. A little piece of mithril? What are you gonna do with that?
A little mithril.
Remember? He didn't touch the elven rings, but he did the dwarf and men rings of men. That was awkward. That was so awkward. This
Yeah.
show,
Also,
this show is so retarded. I
also,
can't believe it, man.
yeah, you know what? Like, this was cool. This was very cool. But
Oh,
also, like, this last scene, again, because nobody talked,
yes.
but also, um, it feels like it should have been in the next episode because it was too short.
Yeah, I think they could have cut with the stupid Farazan and the eagle thing, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought
like,
that was
especially because that's, yeah, they could have put this scene earlier on and then cut with the Farazan incarnation thing.
yeah.
I don't understand why they decided to do this, but okay, sure.
Yeah, I think you already.
But
I was
yeah,
gonna
wow.
ask you what you thought, but you already said it earlier. Where this episode really dragged, and it felt like not much was getting done. At least we got to see a seal door, but
Yeah.
it's also I don't know what is going on. I don't know if you know. I don't.
No.
Other than
Like they're making the rings and there's like a plan for this. And we know that making these rings is not really a good idea, but we know because of future things
right
and because we know
the plot,
the story
right?
kind of the
Yeah,
plot,
yeah.
but other than that, it's like somebody else that's watching this and doesn't know what's going on. I wouldn't know
Right.
if they knew what was going on.
Yeah, like just looking at it without. I mean, I spent all that time. The best part was reading the actual thing to you. That was
Yeah.
that was my favorite part. Was
Yeah.
actually reading the actual story to you, and how much better was that?
Yeah, cause
I don't.
I can actually understand it, and it makes sense, and it's cool.
Yeah, yeah. And I read it. I read that. It's been so many years since I read it, and I hadn't paid attention to the Sauron um, storyline within that so much. I mean, we kind of broke it down, and it's actually was fascinating. You know what I mean? But this isn't that.
Yeah.
um,
Oh well, no, very much
I mean,
not.
I think Sauron is kind of on that vein. Elrond is kind of on that vein. That's it. Everybody else, I don't know what the fuck's going. Celebrimbor is retarded. The dwarves are silly. Um, the the Isildur track is way off. I don't know where they want to go with that. And the
Yeah.
Numenorian thing,
And oh,
okay, it's just boring.
there was one thing I wanted to say,
Yeah.
which is incredible to say, but I think this was the most boring episode this far,
Right.
and we didn't even have to deal with the hobbits.
Oh my
storyline.
god! Right.
Which I think it's the most boring out of all of them.
Right.
But they managed to make all the other stories boring this
Yeah.
episode
Yeah.
without even
Sure.
having the most boring one.
Right.
So like I will give that to them. That's really impressive
Yeah.
somehow.
They just
you
don't know how to tell a story, man. How do these people get? How do these people? You know, honestly, How do these people get to this point? Like, how do they? You know what I mean? Like, imagine they thought I can be a writer, and then I don't know what the fuck they did to get a career, and then to get on this show, and then to actually write this crap, and they suck.
Yeah.
How do you get to this point and this level in your career and you're this bad? I don't like forget the
It's
story.
honestly impressive.
Forget the storyline already being jacked up beyond understanding. Just as a writer, as like even if we watched this as a fantasy story, it's boring. It feels like a B level, right? Like a B show, not an A show.
Yeah.
In term,
Yeah.
right?
Story wise
Right?
specifically.
If this wasn't Rings of
know.
Power and we started watching this, I think we would have been like, I know I would tell you I'm not watching any more of this. I'm very bored. I'm not. it's
Yeah,
really cheaply done. It's
yeah,
really horrible acting for the most part, and it's not cohesive. Everyone's kind of a clown. I'm not watching the rest of this.
yeah. It's just.
And
Ugh,
none of the
I just want it to end, honestly.
none and
I really like.
is it me or none of the places that we go to you're like, "Oh wow, that's interesting." Like we just went to Pelargir. That should have been like, "Wow. First time we get to see
Yeah, and they.
Pelargir." Did you know there's pictures of Pelargir on the internet of what it should look like based on descriptions? It doesn't look anything like what we saw at all.
Yeah, I like. I saw a forest,
What?
and then a
Yeah.
tagline at the bottom that said that we were there.
We never
Like
saw it.
that. It felt like a nature documentary.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
and now we moved to South Africa. Like what? Why?
If I show you on the internet the images that people have done, drawing and like you do of Pelargir based on like the information that we have, you're like, wow, that looks really cool. They couldn't even do that for the show. You guys have billions of
Yeah, that's so lame.
You're
Right?
Amazon. You have billions of dollars to buy this material and then throw on producing it, and you can't even give me a Pelargir, not even a CG Pelargir. Wow, wow,
Yeah,
dude. I swear.
sad,
I
sad.
It's really hard to tell to what extent they hate the material and to what extent they're just incompetent and that you don't want to do it. I don't know.
I
Anyway,
I think I very much think it's both
yeah.
at this
It's
point.
the level of both, right?